fraud, embezzlement, corporate misdeeds. Those are the findings of a 2-month Larry Barker investigation.
His report exposes how a New Mexico medical firm is stealing from its own employees.
In effect, your employer basically stole your money.
Yes, they did. It's despicable.
Is this a big deal?
It's a huge deal. It is a tragic deal, and it's very, very serious.
It's not acceptable to take other people's money. It was dishonest and it was fraudulent.
While physician's assistant Rosalind DeGeorge was at work treating patients, her employer was quietly defrauding her. And medical clerk Amanda Jaramillo did not know her money was being embezzled by the corporate office.
Is it okay with you if your employer borrows your health insurance money?
No.
And Dr. Mark Evanko was stunned to find cash was being siphoned out of his paycheck.
It's a feeling of being violated. I'm not an investigator, but it seems illegal to me.
Evanko, Jaramillo, and DeGeorge are among the 85 employees who work for Atrinia Health, a medical corporation operating urgent care and family practice clinics across New Mexico. Last year, Atrinia Health's financial condition was so desperate, the company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy. In urgent need of cash, company executives decided to raid employee benefit accounts. The medical firm embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars from its employees. Money that was supposed to go towards health insurance and retirement plans was illegally diverted to pay company bills. Drew Markell is CEO.
It's not your money. It's the employees' money. I mean, you took the employees' premiums and spent it someplace else?
It appears that way.
Chris Kraling is a former state insurance superintendent.
If an employer takes benefit money from the employees and uses it to pay bills, is that a problem?
My opinion is it's an egregious breach of trust between the employer and the employee. It is a direct violation of the fiduciary responsibility that employer has to their employees. It's morally wrong, it's ethically wrong, and it flies right in the face of every decent business practice you and I can ever think of.
For example, every 2 weeks, Atrinia took $157 out of Dr. Evanko's paycheck for life insurance. However, instead of sending that money to the insurance company for Mark's life insurance, Atrinia spent it elsewhere. Because Atrinia failed to pay insurance premiums on time, the Lincoln Financial Insurance Company canceled the policy last July. Even though employees no longer had life insurance, Atrinia continued to deduct the money from their paychecks anyway.
Just the fact that Atrinia Health took your premiums for health insurance and diverted it to other uses. Your reaction?
It's despicable.
Some employers need to understand that that is not their money, and they could get in serious trouble if they take someone else's money and use it for another purpose.
John Franchini is New Mexico's superintendent of insurance.
How serious is it for an employer to intentionally take employee benefit money?
It's a serious transgression. It's stealing.
And it's not just life insurance. Atrinia also looted some $40,000 from employee retirement accounts. Rosalind DeGeorge is missing more than $3,000.
That is despicable, that they would take our money and basically divert it to some other cause.
Rosalind took her complaint all the way to the top.
So did the company refund your 401k money?
No, they did not. They did, however, fire me.
You were simply asking, where's your 401k money?
Yes.
And they fired you?
Yes.
Where's your money?
I believe Mr. Markell still has it somewhere.
How much money is missing here?
It's not missing. It didn't make it to the 401k.
The 401k money did not belong to Atrinia.
Mm-hmm.
It belonged to the employees, mm-hmm. and it should have gone into their 401k account, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Any outsider looking at that would call that embezzlement.
I don't think that it's necessarily fair. I think that the funds didn't make it to their destination.
How do you explain it to the employees? It's their money, and as far as they're concerned, it's missing.
Well, it's not missing, it's not where it's supposed to be.
Markel says the retirement funds were diverted by a former Atrinia executive.
The person who was in charge of that is no longer here. Once I became aware of that situation and it was determined that my directives were ignored, I immediately put a corrective action plan into place.
Is it possible that Drew Markel did not know what was going on with the benefit money?
I do not believe that that is possible. If it is possible, then he is an absolutely awful CEO. He should know what's going on in his own company.
And it's not just retirement funds that are missing. Last May, Atrinia stopped paying for group health insurance, even though the money was still being deducted from employee paychecks. Today, Atrinia owes Blue Cross Blue Shield $227,000 for unpaid health insurance premiums.
That money did not go to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Why not?
The money wasn't here for them to be paid.
But sure it was. It was taken out of the employees' paychecks.
Fair enough, but the dollars weren't here for them to be paid.
Why is that not fraudulent?
We just simply were not in a position to be able to pay the premiums to Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Last month, Atrinia was declared bankrupt. Urgent care offices were closed and employees were let go. Even though Atrinia is out of business, the company is under investigation for insurance fraud.
There is a major investigation going on at this time in regard to the illegal transfer of employee money for other purposes besides protecting the employee and their benefits.
Do you think that you owe the employees an apology?
Sure. As the CEO, my responsibility at the end of the day, regardless of who was tasked to be in charge of it, falls right here. And I do apologize.
I can't be exactly sure who within the organization has stolen our money, but somebody has. And I sincerely hope that they get what they deserve.
As an employer, you cannot touch that money. That money is not your money, and you could go to jail for taking that money away from your employee. Don't touch the employee's money. That's my message.
Larry Barker, KRQE News 13.
On our KRQE app, you can find all of the information on how to report insurance fraud yourself.